reason I want to support Cry for this challenge is because when I was 11, I lost my older sister. It was extremely sudden. It was a case of I saw her one moment and said, "See you later on," and went upstairs, and the next thing I know, my parents were running up, and they were telling me to go stand out at the end of the lane and wait for an ambulance to tell them where to go, basically. So I had to go out and do that and wave down the ambulance and tell them where to find the house. And then I was sent over to the neighbour's house, and my sister was rushed off in an ambulance. I don't know how long I was at my neighbour's for. I don't know what time it was. I just remember that when my parents came back, it was extremely late. And while I was at my neighbour's house, I remember they had the news on, and they were just sort of keeping the TV on to keep me occupied and try not to think about what was happening. And I remember watching a video on the news of this boy who had lost his brother. And I just remember the one thing in my head at the time was that it didn't matter, because that couldn't happen to me. It wasn't something that was going to happen. It couldn't. But it did. And I still don't know how to react to it. I don't know if I ever will, and it's extremely hard. And it's something that's been incredibly hard for my whole family. And I just think if I can raise as much money as possible for this charity that do such amazing work, and if I can save one person and one family just by raising a bit of money through this stupid idea that I want to do, that's enough. That's great. That's all I want, is just to make sure that others don't have to go through what my family has had to go through. It really does hit the family hard. Unfortunately, when it happened, my brother was not at home. He was away, and my parents had to phone him to tell him. And I was 11 when it happened, and very naive, and didn't really understand, and we had to go and pick him up from the airport because he had to fly home early. I remember thinking on the way that when we got to the airport and picked my brother up, that it would be a happy occasion because he was home. But it just wasn't. It was almost worse. Yeah, almost, because I didn't realise. We went there, we picked him up, and it was horrible, because the realisation set in that it was not what I thought it was, and I couldn't really come to terms with that. And it's always something. She's always there, and I'm always thinking of her. And yeah, I wish she was still here. I would have loved to know the person that she would have turned out to be. She was a great sister. Unfortunately, I was so young when it happened that I didn't get to know her enough. I really wish I could have known her more. But if this challenge can raise some money and stop this from happening to other people, that is definitely enough for me.